Hi everybody, it's Dr. Laura, and today we're going to talk about the spectacular world of sponges. Now, what do you think of when you think of the word sponge? Is it something like this that you find on your kitchen sink? Or is it more something like this, our old friend SpongeBob SquarePants? Well, I think about those, but sponges in real life are actually animals that live in the ocean, or at least 99% of them do. There are a few freshwater species too. They're very unique looking, and in fact, a lot of people think they look like plants. I have one right here called a wool sponge. Right there. This one came from Tarpon Springs, Florida, a place that's famous for harvesting and growing sponges. This wool sponge is basically the skeleton of a dead animal, and you can see it's kind of soft. People use these for a bath sponge because they have antibacterial properties. This is another kind of sponge that comes from Tarpon Springs, and isn't it a beauty? This is called a vase sponge for obvious reasons. You can see you could put something in there, a flower or a plant or some of your toys, but you can see where it was sliced off the bottom of the ocean and then turned into a beautiful ornament. So as you can see, sponges come in all different shapes and sizes. They also come in all different colors. There's over 9,000 species of sponges in the world. They are invertebrates, which means they don't have a spinal cord, and they're sessile. They don't move until you, of course, cut them off. They all belong to the phylum Porifera, which means pore-bearing, and you can see all the pores in these sponges. The reason they have pores is because they're filter feeders. They eat tiny bacteria, viruses, and plankton, so they filter water and get all of the plankton out of it, and that's their food. This is their skeleton. The animal's no longer alive in it, and you could see that this skeleton, which is a little bit soft but somewhat firm, it's made from silica, very similar to coral. I have a piece of coral here, and you'll notice the similarities. This is a brain coral over here, and this is a sponge, and they both have those pores and everything, but this is rock hard and very heavy, and this is soft and very light. There's actually one group of sponges in the sea called the redwoods of the sea, and this is after the redwood trees of California, which grow huge and tall. It's a very, very old species of coral, almost 2,000 years old, and some of them grow to a height of 350 feet. So as you can see, sponges just aren't boring creatures. They're very important to the ecosystem. They're very important for filtering the water in the ecosystems where they live, and they provide habitat for some of the fish and crustaceans there to hide amongst. They also provide food for some important animals, including the hawksbill sea turtle and some fish. Dolphins have been known to dig up sponges and use them as a tool to scrape the sand and scare fish out for them to eat. Surprisingly, and probably unbeknownst to SpongeBob SquarePants and his best friend Patrick, sea stars are also known to eat sponges. So just don't tell SpongeBob that and we'll all be okay. That's all I have today on the spectacular world of sponges. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next week.